Okay, this is January the 2nd, 2015, and I'm leaving Thailand and heading towards Cochin, India. And it's about almost exactly 10 years to the day that I first came to Thailand. At that time, I was sailing by myself, and now again I'm sailing by myself. Before it was no honey and some money. Now it's no honey and no money. That's the way it goes. It's okay. The weather's okay. I left, checked out on the 31st. And of course, the Thais made that into a holiday too, so I ended up paying 1,200 baht in order to clear out, which was a bit of a pain in the ass. Could have used that to buy more beer. But that's okay. I'm on my way, and the wind is out of the east, about 15 to 20 knots. Waves are not too bad, maybe 1.5 meters, and making good progress, about 5.5 to 6 knots, with just 2 reefs in the main and the staysail up. Now, so you look at the weather, that's what it looks like outside. So it's not so bad, not so bad. It's supposed to calm down a little bit this afternoon, and then I'll go wing on wing. Sombrero Channel, Nicobar's. Oh yeah, very nice. Except for that. Today's the 5th of January, and now a little bit past the Nicobar Islands, not by much. It's been a real slow 24 hours. Partly because of the wind, not much wind, and secondly I had problems with the jib halyard. It was fraying against the stay up near the masthead, and I was afraid it was going to go through, so I used the other halyard, which I have, which doesn't go so close to the stay, but unfortunately it either frayed or did something, and kaboom, the whole sail and pole came down. Of course I was down below. Kaboom, what the fuck was that? Rush out and pull in the sail before it gets dragged underneath the boat. Anyway, that halyard is stuck near the top. It's still sticking out, so I can eventually retrieve it without too much problem. Just have to get to the mast top. I thought I might be able to do that by stopping at Mateo Island, which is in the Sombrero Passage, but that wasn't possible, just too rough. And it's kind of a tricky passage. There's a very strong current there, and there is one this passenger ship. Looks like it. Yeah, well, it did go on the rocks. Somebody wasn't watching. Got pulled on. I don't know how long ago. It's pretty rusted out, but it's sitting there. We didn't go on the rocks, or I didn't go on the rocks. I say we because I now still have one bird, one sparrow. I mentioned before there were two. Now they both took off, and only one came back. It's been hanging around the boat for the last day and a half. I don't have anything for it to eat, so I don't know how it's going to do. Still quite a few miles before we get to Cochin or anywhere near the coast where there might be some bugs for it to eat. Today is January the 9th. It's been 1 week since left Naihan, and there's about maybe 260-70 miles to Sri Lanka now. Another couple of days. A nice squall this morning with some rain, and the seas really haven't let off. Wind is still pretty good, doing about 7 knots right now, and all's okay. Autopilot was squeaking a bit this morning, but now it's stopped. I don't know what that was. I have to check that out later. And what? Not much. The weather's so-so, but the barometer is still up. And no low pressure, which is good, and this should probably last until the evening. I'm back in the cozy cockpit again. What did I forget? Oh yeah, no fish, no nothing out here. Haven't seen any birds, well, a couple little birds, that's it. No ships, no cargo ships, no fishing boats, no other sailing boats since passing Nicobar's. But I think that's going to change the next day or two. I hope not to run into any Sri Lankan fishing boats. They tend to be a bit aggressive in terms of wanting cigarettes and stuff like that. And anyways, I don't have any of that shit, so anyway, see what happens. So I think the other day I was complaining about not enough wind. Well, somebody heard me, and now I have way too much wind. It started yesterday afternoon, blew all through the night, and now the seas have built up a bit, and it's still blowing. And about 150 miles to go to the south end of Sri Lanka. I hope by that time things will have changed. Right now I'm sailing with just 3 reefs now in the main, and just with the staysail, and still doing 6.5 knots. And lots of rock and roll, and of course things do happen when under these conditions. The autopilot decided to take a break in the middle of the night. I think it's some sort of wiring problem, which I have to look at when I get to Cochin. And oh yes, the 2 diesel jerry cans decided to take a little walk on the deck. Had to lash those down pretty quick before they went swimming. And other than that, not too much else, except I could use some more sleep, and I probably could use a shower too. Well, that looks like Dondra Head on south end of Sri Lanka. Now it's, what day is it? It's January the 11th, and I'm at the southern end of Sri Lanka. What today? What's today? Today, let me check. 12th. Today's January the 12th. Ah, another shitty day on the ocean. Man, it's been blowing like this since last night. I've now got, again, 3 reefs in the main and just the staysail, and doing about 5 knots in the general direction of Cochin. I don't know how long this thing is going to last. So far nothing much has been breaking over the boat. Let it slow down. So it's not so bad. It's not so good either. The only bad thing happened last night. I was passing up the coast of Sri Lanka. Something snagged the poor trolling generator and kaboom! Pow! Bing! Pop! Gone. Ugh. I don't know what I'm going to do. Try to maybe cobble something together and Cochin, see if that works. Otherwise, what? Nothing much else except trying to get through this one. Just hope this thing doesn't last all night again. So today is January the 14th, Wednesday I think, and sailing along the west coast up to Cochin, which is now 84 miles away. What a difference a day in the subcontinent between myself and the strong winds and waves makes. Today we're sailing along at 5 knots, calm seas, and this is what the whole trip was supposed to be like. But I think it's wishful thinking. So, for another day, and then we'll be on Cochin. Let's see if that visa on arrival actually works. It's just a bad joke. Now it's January the 15th. I'm sitting here in Cochin. Started the entry formalities and ran into a big problem. Visa on arrival is not valid for boats, just people in airplanes. Shit, what a stupid thing. Some idiot bureaucrat in Delhi figured this one out. So now immigration won't let me go on shore, so I can't get a SIM card. The telephone, the goofballs, and see if I can straighten it out. I'm sort of stuck here. They say, oh, go on to your next destination. Yeah, thanks, it's only 2,000 miles away. I have no more food. Running low on water. Well, let's fix that. Fuel should be still okay, but it's really a shitty situation with these stupid bureaucrats. Anyway, I'll let you know what happens. Okay, today's January 17th. I missed a day. Check-in yesterday, and Indian bureaucracy being what it is, it took 6 hours to check in. Yes, they did give me 72-hour stay here because I need to do some boat repairs. And I mentioned before the visa on arrival, they insist it's not. It's very clear on the website, it's only for air passengers, air arrivals, but I can't see it anywhere. So anyway, here I am, and I'm at the new marina, which is new but quickly falling apart. There's no maintenance being done. The docks are basically breaking, the wood is all rotten, breaking down, so there's more risk of falling in and breaking your leg than anything else. The rates, they sort of fluctuate a bit. It's not too bad. It's 1,200 rupees a day, so that'll be $15 a day, so it's not so bad. Water is free, I haven't used any power, and I'm going to get some fuel, and then tomorrow go back and check out the following morning. So that's it for India. It's a big pain in the ass here.